Hello girls, to continue with the chemical coordination in plants, we had started with, if you remember, the tropic movement in plants. In the last upload, I talked about phototropism and geotropism. So today we will start with hydrotropism. You all know hydro means water. Okay, so the movement of plant parts in response to water or moisture is called hydrotropism. Okay, so when a plant part grows towards the source of moisture, you know what grows towards moisture? Roots grows towards water or moisture. It is said to be positively hydrotropic. So the growth of roots towards moisture ensures or makes sure that the roots will be near the water which is found in the soil. So roots are positively hydrotropic, and the part of the plant which moves away from water, that is the shoots, are known as negatively hydrotropic. Okay, now to show the effects of water on the growth of roots and plant, there is an experiment. Okay, so we take a piece of wire netting or a gauze. This is the wire netting or the gauze. Okay, now moist sawdust here in this total area, the brown portion that you see, what is there? There is moist sawdust. Okay, around 1 inch it is placed on the wire netting, and then germinating seeds, you can see 3 have been embedded here. Okay, so we will wait for a few days and we will see that the seeds will start germinating, and the radicals in the beginning grow downwards through the wire netting. It will start growing in the downward direction. Okay, because of course the geotropism is there, moves towards gravity. Okay, but as after some days you will see that it will grow down for some days and then it will start moving in the upward direction, which is shown here. Okay, the radicals start growing upwards towards the source of water, because this sawdust here, which is there in the brown portion, it is moist. So the roots, they are growing towards the source of moisture. Okay, so they grow against the force of gravity, but you will see in the meantime the shoots are growing in the upward direction. They are not moving towards the source of water. So this experiment shows that the roots grow towards water and shoots do not. That means roots are positively hydrotropic and shoots are negatively hydrotrophic. So for the roots, water is more effective stimulus than gravity. Next type of tropic movement in plants is known as Kimotropism. It is the growth movement of plant in response to touch stimulus. There are some interesting responses that you see in response to touch. There are plants such as sweet peas, vines, that is grapes, and here in the hills you see lots of squash. Okay, they all have tendrils, okay, which coil around other plants, or maybe it comes out, and then when the tip touches the support, the stimulus is received by the tip of the tendril, and then it is transmitted to the base part of the tendril. After receiving the stimulus, the tendril starts twining around the support. Okay, so now it has got support, so it will start twining around the support. So if you see any weak stemmed plants growing in a field, how the tendrils like a twine around the support. The tendrils provide a well-known example of Kimotropism. So this is an example of Kimotropism. Next, we move on to Kimotropism. Now, Kimotropism is the growth of plant organs in response to chemicals. Okay, now remember when we did the flower chapter in the part 1 of this book, you learned how the pollen tube, which grows on once after pollination, the pollen grains fall on the stigma and then it will start growing a tube in the style. Okay, so this movement of pollen tube, it is because sugar is secreted by the style and the pollen tube moves towards the sugar and peptones, which is secreted by the style. Okay, now this is an example of chemotropism, and another example is the movement of fungi growing towards areas richer in food. Now if there is a piece of bread, you will see fungus growing on it because the fungus is attracted by the food, that is the chemical which is present in the bread. So this is also chemotropism. Another example is the movement of tentacles of Drosera towards the source of nutrition. So this is the example of chemotropic movement. Now sunflowers, move towards the sun. Their head faces towards the sun. In the morning it is towards the east and it moves along with the sun, and in the evening it faces the west. This type of movement is known as heliotropism. This type of movement you see in the sunflower. Now, the sunflower plant has auxins which are sensitive to light. So as a result, they start turning from the part of the plant which is facing the sunlight to the shaded region of the stem. So auxins eventually stimulate the growth of cells in the shaded region of the stem so that the flowers start bending in the opposite direction, which is the opposite direction to the shade. It is towards the sun. So with this, we come to the end of the chapter, chemical coordination in plants. So what you are supposed to do, we'll discuss in the WhatsApp group. Till then, stay safe, children. God bless you.